Good morning, students. In continuation to previous discussion, so good morning, students. In continuation to previous discussion, where we have discussed relations between two non-empty sets, different types of relations, and what is a function, how a relation becomes a function, and different types of functions like one-one function, onto function, bijection, inverse function, and many more points we have discussed along with suitable examples. So now I will continue the topic. So first I would like to define binary operation. What is binary operation? So in this group theory, the binary operation is given by, let G be a set. A binary operation on G is a function that assigns each ordered pair of elements of G an element of G. In a way, F, the so-called binary operation, is a mapping from ordered pair G cross G to G. So you will be knowing this binary operation in your computer science and other fields. But in this topic, the binary operation is an operation on ordered pairs. O is a binary operation on G, if and only if A, O, B belong to G. So, when A, B are two elements of G, the image of ordered pair AB, the result is AOB. That AOB should belong to G. Then you can say O is a binary operation on G. This property is generally called closure property. Now I will discuss some specific sets where what is the binary operation. And for example, dot. Dot means usual multiplication. Dot is a binary operation on set of whole numbers. So you must be knowing what are whole numbers. Right from 0, all positive integers form set of whole numbers. In that set, dot is a binary operation. Why? Because you take any two numbers and multiply them. The result is also a whole number. So therefore, in the first case, closure property is satisfied. So therefore, dot is a binary operation. Likewise, you take minus, that is usual subtraction. Minus is a binary operation on set of integers. So z is equal to set of integers 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, so on. So on this set, I take minus as the operation. So it is claimed that minus is a binary operation. Means you take any two integers. If you subtract one from the other, the result is also an integer. The result is also an integer. So therefore, negative or minus is a binary operation on set of integers. Now you see, minus is not a binary operation on set of natural numbers. So you take set of natural numbers, capital N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So what is the difference between whole numbers and natural numbers? Whole numbers include 0, but natural numbers do not include 0. So therefore, natural numbers begin from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. Now suppose you define minus or subtraction on this set. You are sure that this is not a binary operation because you take any two natural numbers. If you subtract, you may get a positive integer or negative integer. But negative integers are not in the set. Therefore, minus is not a binary operation on n. Now I would like to discuss algebraic structure. A non-empty set together with one or more than one binary operation is called algebraic structure. A non-empty set with either one or more than one binary operations form an algebraic structure. For example, capital R is set of real numbers plus usual addition. Now, whether R plus is algebraic structure. Algebraic structure means that addition plus must be a binary operation on set of real numbers. It is usual addition. Suppose you add two real numbers, the result is also a real number. So therefore, plus is a binary operation on set of real numbers. So therefore, R plus is an algebraic structure. Similarly, you can verify yourself. N plus is also an algebraic structure. N means set of natural numbers. Z plus is also an algebraic structure because, as you know, plus is addition. If you add two integers, the result is also an integer. So therefore, Z plus is an algebraic structure. Q plus. Q stands for rational numbers. Set of rational numbers. So set of rational numbers, if you add two rational numbers, the result is also a rational number. So therefore, Q plus is also an algebraic structure. Now I would like to define group. A non-empty set G together with an operation O is called a group if the following properties are satisfied. So G is a non-empty set, O is an operation on G. So then you can say G is a group provided the following conditions are satisfied. First condition, closure property. For all A comma B belong to G, A, O, B should also belong to G. Then closure property will be satisfied. Second is associative property. So AO, BOC is equal to AO, BOC. This should be true for all elements of G. If that is satisfied, then we say associative property is satisfied. Existence of identity. Identity property means the set G should contain an identity element. If identity element exists, identity property is satisfied. If that element does not exist, identity property is not satisfied. So, what is an identity element? There exists an element E belong to G called identity element such that AOE is equal to EOA is equal to A. Means A may be any element of G. You take element E and A and operate O. AOE, EOA. Whatever you do, the result should be A. In that case, if it is true for all elements of G, then E is identity element of G. So therefore, identity property will be satisfied. Then existence of inverse. If inverse exists, inverse property is satisfied. For every element A belong to G, there exists an element A inverse belong to G such that A inverse OA is equal to AO A inverse must be E. So what does it mean? You take any element A belong to G. There must exist an element A inverse belong to G in such a manner that if you operate O on A and A inverse in the form either A inverse OA or AO A inverse, the result must be identity element. Likewise, if there exists A inverse associated with A, we say inverse exists for A. If this is true for all elements of G, then inverse property is satisfied. So if all the elements of G satisfy the properties listed here, then we say G is a group with the given binary operation O. Now I take some examples. Capital R, set of real numbers with addition as the binary operation. So if you take real set of real numbers R with addition as the binary operation, then it forms a group. Means the set of real numbers R plus is usual addition. If you verify the properties like closure property, associative property, identity property and inverse property, all the properties will be satisfied by set of real numbers with addition. So therefore R plus is a group. So you may ask, what is the identity element of this group R plus? 0 is the identity element of the group R plus. Likewise, what is inverse of an element? If A is an element of R, then minus A will be inverse of A. So minus A belongs to R. It is true for any element of R. Therefore, inverse exists. Going to second example, you take capital R dot, means multiplication. Dot represents usual multiplication. Because dot is the binary operation here, R dot is not a group. The reason is, in the case of multiplication as the binary operation, identity element is 1. But inverse does not exist for every element. If you take 0 an element of R, you don't get inverse of 0. Because it is 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is not defined. So therefore, R dot is not a group. Now, I would like to discuss abelian group. So, a group G with binary operation O is called abelian group or commutative group if for all A comma B belong to G, AOB should be is equal to BYM. That means commutative property should be satisfied. So if AB are two elements of G, AOB must be equal to BYM. Then the commutative property is satisfied. In addition to the four properties of a group, if this commutative property is also satisfied, then that group is called abelian group or commutative group. As an example, Z, set of integers plus usual addition. It's a commutative group. Likewise, set of rational numbers Q, usual addition plus is also a commutative group. Set of real numbers R plus binary operation is a commutative group. So these are all abelian groups or commutative groups. You take second example, Q minus singleton 0 comma dot means set of all non-zero rational numbers with usual multiplication of rational numbers form an abelian group. Set of all real non-zero real numbers with multiplication as the binary operation also forms an abelian group. So set of real numbers other than 0, that is non-zero real numbers. So identity element is usually 1. If A is the element, its inverse is given by 1 by A in the case of multiplication. So we have discussed about a group and abelian group. What is semi-group? An algebraic structure GO is said to be semi-group if it satisfies only the properties given below. 1. Closure property. 2. Associative property. What this means? That means a non-empty set G with binary operation O satisfies only two properties. First property, closure property. Second property, associative property. Remaining properties are not satisfied. So this is a semi-group. Set of natural numbers in addition is a semi-group. Set of natural numbers with multiplication is a semi-group. Set of integers with addition is a semi-group. Set of integers with multiplication is also a semi-group. These are all semi-groups. Now I would like to define monoid. An algebraic structure GO is said to be a monoid if it satisfies only the properties 1. Closure property, 2. Associative property, 3. Identity property. Only when these 3 properties are satisfied, and 4th property like inverse property, 5th property like commutative property are not satisfied by G under the binary operation O. In that case, that algebraic structure GO is called monoid. So, set of natural numbers n with usual multiplication dot is a monoid. Set of integers z with addition as binary operation is also a monoid. Likewise, set of natural numbers n with plus is not a monoid because plus is addition of natural numbers. So, it fails in finding identity element because for addition, identity element is 0. 0 does not belong to n. That's why n plus is not a monoid. So, now I would like to prove a theorem. Statement. The identity element E in a group is always unique. I repeat. Suppose a group has an identity element E. Then he says the identity element is unique. That means there exists only one identity element in one group. How to prove it? If possible, suppose that E and E dash are two identity elements in a group. So normally you have to prove that it is unique. So contrary, you consider there are two identity elements E and E dash. So definitely E and E dash are both are identity elements. They belong to G. First you assume that E is the identity element and E dash is any element of G. Then you see the identity property E dash is equal to E dash E is equal to E dash. So because E dash is any element, so therefore this is from identity property of groups. Give a number to this 1. Now this time you take E dash as an identity element and E be any element of G. So same property if you apply, E dash E is equal to E dash is equal to E this time. It is also from identity property. So give any number to this, that is 2. So if you observe 1 and 2, E dash is equal to E dash E will be E and same is equal to E dash. So that means what? E must be equal to E dash. So what your assumption is, there are two identity elements E and E dash. At the end what did you get? E is equal to E dash. So this proves identity element of a group is unique. Another theorem I would like to prove. The inverse element of a group is unique. So for a fixed element of the group, inverse exists, but inverse is only one, unique. So let J be a group and A is an element of G. Likewise in the previous case, let there be two inverses. Let B and C be inverses of A in group G. B is an element of G, C is also an element of G. Both are inverses for A. According to inverse property, we have B is the inverse of A. Therefore, AB is equal to BA is equal to E, identity element of the group 1. Because C is also the inverse, AC is equal to CA is equal to E. So this is number 2, equation number. E is inverse element of group without. Since G is a group, it satisfies associative property with respect to dot. So consider BA into C, associative property, BA into C. BA means already from equation 1 it is E. So E into C is equal to C. That is from 1. consider B to AC. But AC is equal to E from 2. Therefore, B into E is equal to B. So, therefore, according to associative property, BI into C is equal to B to AC. Therefore, C is equal to B. So, what is that you proved? If B and C are inverses of A, they are equal. So, therefore, this proves that the inverse element is unique in the group.